Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever in the world you are. Welcome to this program. Welcome to you, Benjamin.
Thank you for having me on the program. Hello, viewers, wherever you are. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you. Tonight, we'd like to talk about the election temperature is hotting up in Zimbabwe, and Zanu PF is going through the gears as part of his rigging machinery, and things are really getting serious. Here is an audio that has been going the rounds of one of Zanu PF vote rigging strategies. Listen to this.
Kuitira kuti pamberepo pachapinda supu yekuti iwewe wega atisiushidzirai batutara zvakataura newakauya wachikuita basa iri tiri kuwirirana here wabereki. Saka pepa iri resero iri tinoda kuti chitatu chega chega hakuna uvimana tatononokwa izvo tingadai kurutikana kuningoti tikapana nguva ya 6 o'clock tobva tauya semaunganire mamaitapo wakwangoti sero cheanenge ane pepa rake wotoona kuti wekusere kwangu uyai kuno bhoenda uko wesere rakati bhoenda uko wesere rakati bhoenda uko kwangomaka kuti ndingauya here pautotika ta asina kuuya hanzi kana waita rwendo kumbira kuna sero cheya kuenda mutaurire kana kwandiri chairman unosvika inini ndaitawo chinyi ndafanzirwa ndawe ndaita rwendo muchaitatuya pachama paregister nendisiri boba wari kubasa yes ndo tiri kutaura zvakangofanana iwe shamareni sekuru nyati pinduterei zvatiri kutaura ndati chitatu chega chega kwete everyday ba izwai nyati munoti imimi chitatu munenge muri kubasa imimi ndicho munopa ripoti kuna sero chair wenyu kuti chitatu inini umwe wangu nendisiri boba ndiri kubasa sero chair wenyu woziwa anenge akutoziwa kuitira kuti azokumakei kuti tik present handiri mubazwa zvandikutaura handi kuti tinoya everyday papanapa tinoya chitatu chega chega chitatu chikasvika totika munhu chitatu chikasvika totika munhu rejesta rine rusanza ndiro iri chipi sero iri kusvika hanzi kana takwenda kovhota sero chair uyu ane bepa rake iri ndiye achanga ari pekutanga hanzi pakuvhota kwako zvomuchaita achanyanga dzako kuita zvaanoita ati muballot box kuti wapinda panumber 1 uyu sero chair achanyora kuti number 1 apinda ndiobey vanyora panapo obey ningi atonyora pepa ranenge anaro number 2 ndiani ndijohn vanyora 3 ndiani ndisara 4 ndiani ndinhingi hanzi zvichakubatisai mega nekuvhota kwako muri kuita according nepepa iyi ndausiri kungopinda chipindireba usina kusvika nepana sero chair wako uri kutanga wasvika pana sero chair ndiye achabva akutika kuti chienda wadini enda wapinde uvhota hausiri kungoita zvataita kare ke kongoti wasvikako kungosvika kuti ndasvika chitupo changu 4 kwautopinda kwautoenda kovhota gore rino zvichinja pane protoko yekuti sero chair ndipo unotanga kusvikira handi sero chair yegaba kune warongwa wakawanda muchawaona musi wekuvhota wacho wanenge wakagadira basa ironi sero chair tiutaura ndiye munoziva ndiye wemumutana menyu kune vamwe wasiri wemumutana meduba like waudzwa awo ndiwo wanenge wari kumonita izvozvo wanenge ari kugara pasabhuku izvozvo ombo yako kupai mahighlights chete saka taramba kuti wamwe muzofomoriwe muzimbabwe kwazi anenge asina kuatenda meeting kwai sabhuku anounzenyi zviya pasabhuku kwai mbuzi muri kuizwayo bereki ende hakuna koine imangaraba iwe wakanga wanyozera hako wakuzoti hauna kuyaba sabhuku chaanenge arutarisa imbuzi yake iri kuenda kuna sabhuku basi koruda komangara wobva wataona kuti uri komangara kupi kwaunozobudira ngekuti iwe uruzi uya kumusangano iwe woramba kuya kumusangano weZanu PF yenyika iri kutonga nyika ino kwazi inovakwa ndiwe iwewe muridzi ndiwo unoaka nyika ino. Saka mukaenda ikoti tida kuchinja, wabereki chinja hapo chinja, asi tida kuona kuti machinjiro acho uda kuachinja kaindini, ngoti wakomana nyika inoita zvese zvese, ngekuti nyika iyi haina kuti umwe samuwana rubva hake uko zvakaita nindini baba pamba pangu kwakuyosa nhinga akuya kuti iwewe panapa ibva ndini dada kugara panapa nemukadzi wako nemhuri yacho. Ndiani anozvibvumira izvezvo? Saka ipapo manje pane kufiwa kwazi pane ruziva remazuva emaelection akaitwa mangani. Vabereki izvo muri kuita meeting uko pane imwe diga zvatiri kutaura tsa muchabvunza ndichakupai muchabvunza yenyu mhayo. Ndiri kubvunza pane mubvunzo wandabvunza pana kuti mazuva emaelection anzi akaitwa mangani. Muri kuaziva here? Mairi kune a2023 nemusi wa2 toti July, August, September, 2 September irirani zvakabva zvatotaurwa zvese. Saka parirani iyoyo hapachisina kutaurirana aba, ngekuti maramba president kunoku muri zvati aramba president kangani. Murumboziziwa tamuramba kubva muna 2008 na 2020 ani apa 13 kozana 2018 takaramba president kunoku vanhu mukavhotera mamaksi akawanda kune triple C yanga ichiri MDC. Saka hanzi zvino hwendo huno dzokerera izve zvamakaita izvezvi zvekuramba president, endaizve mudzokererezve. Saka kana pane rerun hapachisina kutaurirana ba, motoziva kwai unogona ngofuma hako wakafa ndikoti zvinake. Enda wafe hako wasati watosvika munogara kozviuraya kodya chemika wasati watokusvikira apa. Ndo zvakataurwa zvabereki. Isusu hatisi kushidzirai, tauya kuti tikupewa mashoko ataka izvo zvanziti kwakazi meeting sabhuku akakuwa nekutaurira masero chaakafamba wamwe takatosanga.
There you have it, Benjamin. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, I mean, the guy of it, I'm sure he's just saying exactly what he was told well, basically how he understood it. But this is what is going on the ground for sure. I do believe this is what is happening, especially in the rural areas in Zimbabwe, and it's been happening for quite some time. And you know, when you actually look at it, just to prove that this is actually true, Zanu PF has been saying that their party they are changing their strategy, that you know, they're concentrating on their cells. Cells are small, you know, portions of communities within the whole community as a whole. And then this also falls into plan to exactly how ZEC has strategized to conduct the elections. Instead of just, you know, you voting any way you want to vote within, let's say if you come from a town like Gweru or Bulawayo, you can vote wherever in Bulawayo. You are now concentrated to vote in the area, in a specific area that you actually come from. This way, they are able to trace where exactly you voted. Now in rural areas, like as they were saying, that you know, they are the leaders of the community, which are the headmen and people like that, will be having the names of people that stay within that, you know, that area, and it's very easy for them to trace where you have voted for. So which means straight away your vote is no longer a secret, and this is very, very worrying. You're actually taking away the right for somebody to choose their own leader, and it's pretty sad.
I think it is really tragic. They really are piling up the pressure here. because as the old man was trying to explain towards the end there, that if we go into the rerun and it's found out that you had not voted for Zanu PF, it will be better for you to kill yourself. That is serious business. Somebody doesn't mention that lightly, you know. And this is a country that has had serious violence, particularly during this rerun. So if Mnangagwa fears that there will be a rerun, as for winning, they will rig the election to make sure that there is no way Chamisa is going to have an outright win. At best, he can be in the lead before the runoff. But Mnangagwa will be his main challenger. And during the runoff, then the pressure will be turned on even more. That's what the old man is saying there. If you think there is pressure now, wait until there is a rerun. Because the rerun then will be really concentrating on, okay, each of the polling station, we know your vote. We know whom you voted for. We know we have got a register here of each cell, all those who are attending Zanu PF rallies and meetings every Wednesday. And then on voting day, there will be another register of those who came to vote. So Zanu PF will know precisely who voted for the party that day and who did not. And what the old man is saying is, if there should be a need for a rerun, then those who didn't vote for the party, it will be easier for you to kill yourself. I think that is serious business.
It's very tragic. I mean, well, I don't see that there will actually be a need for a rerun, because I mean, if you are already intimidating people, we're just talking about ordinary people that actually do not know how the whole process of the election works. They just know that you just go in there and you cast your ballot and get help or assistance in choosing whatever, and then you are out of there. So once you are starting to tell them that you are going to be in trouble, and you are intimidating them, and you are putting so much fear in them, they can already picture themselves getting bruised and battered. So, and probably, I mean, they've already been told that if you cannot even attend a meeting every Wednesday, despite whether you work or not, you are going to end up losing your livestock. That is for people in rural areas. Livestock means way more than what you would maybe term our luxury, even our cars. To them, that is their everyday thing, So it's already a lost battle, especially in rural areas. If Triple C had torrid time trying to get the rural vote, now things have just gotten a little harder, basically. So also judging by that, one would question, what strategy are they going to come up with? Because the only strategy they have is the WhatsApp, and that WhatsApp is not going to help anyone. You see, because already these guys have been instilled the fear of God in them. So it's tragic already. I think it's like we always say, it makes sense sometimes just to just stop all this nonsense and write letters or whatever that needs to be done, or address to who needs to be addressed, and show them all this evidence. Evidence is coming up every single day, every day. It's not as if the evidence is not there. The evidence is galore. It's just that these guys are, I do not know what is going on within their minds, but they are so sure that they just want to continue with this hopeless case, which is very sad, and they are putting people's lives in danger, which is very, very unfair.
Yeah, I mean, when you're looking at you'll be fined for missing a Zanu PF cell meeting, and the price for it is a goat. That is unbelievable. You know, if you are going to miss the meeting, you've got to tell the chairperson or the cell leader that you can't attend the meeting. So now you are being compelled to belong to an organization and attend these meetings. This is unbelievable. This is really unbelievable. And the pressure is going to continue mounting. And I can tell you now that with so much control of the individual, you honestly feel like these, particularly the people in the rural areas, are no more than medieval serfs, beholden to the landlords. And the landlords are extremely demanding. This is the tragedy of Zimbabwe. And I agree with you. There don't seem to be any meaningful strategy by the Triple C on how to deal with this problem of intimidation. Can you think of one?
There's none. I mean, let's look at the track record, from the very beginning, when they really came in onto the political arena, while they were still MDCT. I mean, they were just abused willy-nilly, and Zanu PF doesn't care. As long as they get what they want at the end of the day, they will go through you and through whoever they deem fit, just to get to their ends. So, and look, the only strategy that Triple C has come up with: protect your vote. Who is going to protect their vote in the rural areas? Like, as things stand, who would want to go and say, I'm willing to die for everybody else's vote? None. There's none. So what the only strategy that is there is, when you get to the polling station, just WhatsApp us, and then we will WhatsApp you coordinates. That is not going to protect anybody. And these people are being intimidated, and this message is going to be drummed into them every week. As the guy was saying, that every meeting you have to come. What do you think they will be talking about, except to hammer home the same message that we got eyes on you, we got eyes on you? So already there's fear within the voter, there is intimidation already, so it's already a lost cause. I just I cannot put a finger to it to see why Triple C cannot just make a document and send it with all this evidence. It's just bizarre. It's amazing. You cannot understand foolishness sometimes.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. I think it's most unfortunate that we keep on making the same mistake over and over again. These elections really should not be going on without meaningful democratic reforms to make sure that this, particularly this culture of violence and intimidation, is stopped. But the other thing that people should remember here is that what this old man was actually explaining, it has come from the very top. President Mnangagwa himself is the one who articulated exactly what the old man is just telling us now in detail. We can listen to an audio that was made of him a few months ago on him explaining how they're going to rig these elections. And he's saying exactly what the old man was saying here. Just listen to this.
Saka ndichikumbira kuti kubva the 12 wards dziri kwaChirumanzu, 12 wards dziri kwaChirumanzu, anzi Sabuk Mberi, chairman wedistrict Mushure navanhu, kansila aripo kwakunovhota. Hatidi tichiziva kuti polling station imwe neimwe ina results ayo. Toziva kuti ko polling station ino vabvepi vapinda nepapi chisingazikamwi kufamba kwacho rufu. Rufu hakuna zhira, asi ane vhota ane zhira.
There you are. There is Mnangagwa explaining how the vote rigging is to be done, how the people are going to be frog marched to go and vote, and that the vote is not a secret. And I think that point has got to be emphasized. People in the opposition, one of their strategies, you can pretend to be Zanu PF and until you go to the voting day, then you vote for the opposition. That is just not a viable solution in any way, because this voting process itself, as he explained there, people are being frog marched, and the register is kept of who is attending Zanu PF cell meetings. And on the day of voting, the cell chair leader will be marking a register on who came to vote from their cell. Yeah. And in this particular case, the polling station is now a polling station based voters roll. You cannot go to any other polling station to go and vote. You have got one designated polling station where you must go and vote. And that is where they will expect you, and they'll mark your register there to make sure that you vote. And when you look at the number of polling stations, they have increased from about 10 per constituency in 2008 to now there are over 60 polling stations. So roughly you're looking at maximum 500 people if a constituency has got about 30,000 voters. So 500 people. In a village, that's maybe 2 or 3 villages. And the Zanu PF official would know almost all of those 500 people who vote at that polling station. And even if they don't, each one of those cell leaders will have marked their own register, who came to vote. And so when the results are being tallied, they will know this polling station. Remember, the vote counting is done at the polling station. So they will know the 500 people came to vote and half of them voted for the opposition. They can quickly realize, okay, how many of our own people came from our cells? And if 250 came from the cells, they will know everybody else on that voters roll who is not in the cell voted for the opposition. So your vote is not a secret at all. And what the old man is saying there is if there should be a runoff, and this time they're making sure that the runoff is not going to take months. The initial voting is on the 23rd of August. And if there's going to be a runoff, it will be on the 2nd of September. Is it September or October? I can't remember now.
It's just a few weeks I think about 2 weeks after that they should be going for it. But I honestly do not see with this strategy that Zanu PF has put in place. It's no longer a matter of voting is no longer a secret. You no longer own your vote. That privilege has since been taken away because now it's now a matter of life and death. What would you rather sacrifice? I would not sacrifice my. I mean, they've already been told that the best thing is to die if you are going to give away that vote to whoever, any other person other than Zanu PF. So that right to own your own vote and to decide for yourself is gone. It's already taken away from you.
Yeah,
And the worst part is I blame the opposition. I don't blame Zanu. Zanu is just wicked. I blame all our opposition. I mean, the evidence is galore. It's just a matter of just choosing. There's even audios of him saying, and there's no way you can deny that it is the president himself that is giving this order. And I'm sure it's not just audios that are available. He was talking at a rally, there's videos to as evidence that he was actually the one that was saying this. Just take this here to whoever needs, and I'm sure there's because Zanu PF at the end of the day needs legitimacy, right? They need to be declared as a democratic state. And with all this evidence here, if given to the right persons, I'm sure they do not even have to even deliberate about it. It's just signed to say this is now and void, and then that's it.
to be quite honest, I don't think it's a question of they need the evidence, Benjamin. We already have, for instance, in 2018, the European Union, in their report, they declared those elections that they were not international standards. And they enumerated the reasons why that was so. The problem SADC had is that SADC have always used the participation of the opposition as their excuse, particularly since 2013, when SADC themselves literally begged Morgan Tsvangirai and company not to participate in the elections without reforms, and they were ignored. And after that they decided, okay, they will grant Zanu PF legitimacy, however flawed the process may get. And that's what they've been doing ever since. And by participating in their numbers, which was shown by their nomination, SADC is almost certain to do the same thing again this year. But that is not the problem with SADC per se. I think the problem is with the opposition in the first place, and in the second place, us Zimbabweans, the voters themselves. Because we, by participating as well, we are giving legitimacy to the process. That has been explained over and over again. And people still continue to participate, expecting change. But again, that has been also explained. If you participate, you cannot turn around tomorrow and say, oh, the process was flawed. Because you knew and you were warned that the process is going to be flawed unless you implement reforms. So I think this is the catch-20. It's not really a catch-22. It's clear. It's just that people don't want to follow the instructions.
Yes, which is quite sad. Really, really sad. I honestly don't. I don't see any need for a rerun. This is already a case and closed, and chapter closed actually.
Yeah. Do you want to say something about the cartoon there, Benjamin?
Oh, nah. This is exactly what is happening. I mean, this is I mean, recently we saw people getting bussed to the record-breaking rally, and in fact, every household was told that you are either to go or you will be in trouble. And as you can see, there's one other character there that is being dragged, and the other one is being wasted. I think that's a school child. You're not going to school today. You are going, but the bus is already full. It's this is exactly what is happening. Honestly, this is exactly what is happening in our country right now, where it's no longer freedom of whoever you want to vote for, or it's it's either our way or we will drag you along even if you don't want. So pretty much a done deal for me in terms of the 2023 elections. That book or that ship was already sailed.
Yeah, in this particular case, I suppose each cell is given a target figure of how many people they've got to deliver at the rally, and if you don't meet that target, you could be in trouble. And in this particular case, each one of the senior political leaders in the particular area would be very happy to report to the boss that my constituency delivered the most votes for you, and hopefully you'll be rewarded with a ministerial position or some other perks. So the pressure is on everybody to deliver the greatest number of voters. I remember this during soon after independence, when the Zanu PF headquarters was bombed and destroyed. And Zanu was saying, okay, we are going to build a new headquarters, which is now the Shek building. And each of the Zanu PF cells were given a target of the amount of money they had to raise. And trust me, it was hell. People were making so many sacrifices to make their contribution towards that target. And then one weekend you'll be told, oh, we had the big bosses here. They visited us. And so we had to accommodate them at the hotel and pay for their food and entertainment. And, each cell was asked to make a contribution. And we contributed X amount of money. And that amount of money now has got to be replaced. You say to yourself, this is unbelievable. People had made so much sacrifice and they thought, okay, we are nearer to reaching our target. All of a sudden you find it's almost like you're starting from scratch again. It was terrible, and this is, I think, the same mentality that is gripping Zanu PF now, where whenever there is a rally, you have got to have so many people from your cell, district, constituency attending it, and registers are being kept so that whoever can deliver the biggest number gets the biggest reward. So this rat race is on, and so this cartoon is really depicting what is happening in real life. And it is tempting to laugh, but when you find yourself in that situation, it's unbearable. It really is unbearable. I don't know whether you want to make your closing remarks there, Benjamin.
Sure, thank you. Well, you know, for years we have been asking Zanu to stop all this, yeah, all, you know, human rights and all this abuse. And I'm sure now we know, you know, it's a waste of time to be asking Zanu. So now we have to go to the opposition and ask them, you know what? Some of the things that you are doing, it does not show any good character going forward. And I don't think these guys are a solution now. They have become a big problem. And they are willing to participate no matter what you and I, the normal ordinary person, what we risk to lose. Because now our rights are being, you know, are being abused. We have no say in our votes anymore. We are being forced to go to these rallies by both sides anyway. You know, whatever happens to us when we get there or coming back is none of their business. They just take off and go back to the capital city and everything is normal. But it is you and I that have to do, you know, to find ourselves how we are going to go back and, you know, try and salvage the day. Or let me say, I think if they also have, you know, a conscience and minds that actually function, they should know and realize that, you know, whatever strategies they have is kids play compared to what Zanu is is is, is coming up with every day. They must never think that Zanu PF will stop, you know, updating their profile, they themselves. They are, you know, continuously improving. They are going through the motion as well. So every time they think that, you know, we have got this strategy because of they did this the last time. When they are coming new. I mean, look, now they have strategies for they've narrowed down it to the cell. By the next time they'll be doing it to the individual families, not to say the cell. The cell will be too big. Every family will be known. So it's naive to think that, you know, you can actually trap Zanu PF when they are the masters of. They've been doing it for 43 years. So it's child's play what these guys are talking about. So I would like to, to tell the people this is what is happening on the ground. The only thing that is needed is that if we had reforms, implemented reforms, or we could boycott the whole, you know, this whole setup and try and salvage through showing of evidence that, you know, this thing is not the will of the people. This is the will of two people that, you know, want to fight each other. That's what I can say.
Thank you very much, Benjamin. I think my closing remark would be that I think people must realize that, particularly those in the rural areas, those in the rural areas have no say in whether to participate or not. The rural people have been reduced to nothing more than medieval serfs, beholden to the overbearing Zanu PF landlords. If you live in the rural area and you are told that if you do not attend a cell meeting, you'll be asked to pay a fine of a goat. People may think, oh, it's a joke. It is not a joke. These people can harass you. They can force you. They can do anything they want. During 2008, during the runoff for 2008, many people lost their cattle because these Zanu PF thugs would come to them and say, oh, we want food and you should donate some food and we want meat. And they know you have got so many heads of cattle and they decided, well, you should donate one of your heads of cattle. And the individual will know they have no choice. Because if you do not donate anything, you'll be labeled an opposition supporter. And that is the worst crime you can commit, particularly during election time, like we are going into. So the rural folks have no say in this. The people who have the say are those in the urban centers, and more so, the intellectuals, wherever they are in the world, inside the country and or outside. Those are the people who should be saying, no, this process here is flawed. This process we should not carry on. They are the ones who should be telling Chamisa that you cannot keep on sacrificing the nation for your own selfish ends. Because it is a selfish end. MDC had the opportunity to implement the reforms to stop all this madness during the GNU. They failed to do so. And now they are participating in these elections, knowing fully well that Zanu PF is rigging the process. But they are participating because they also know that Zanu PF is giving away a few gravitory seats to the opposition to entice them to participate. And that is the price the ordinary person are paying. And personally, I think I'm disappointed with our so-called intellectuals. They are the ones who have let the nation down. They have, at best, decided to say nothing. But in a common maxim of international renown, that saying nothing sometimes signifies that you are giving your consent. So it is not enough to say nothing. People should have stood up and said, no, this is not right. During the GNU, those intellectuals should have been the first ones to pressure Trankirai and company and ask them, why are you not implementing reforms? Why have you failed to implement even one meaningful reform? And yet, unfortunately, most of these intellectuals are the ones who are cheering and applauding this madness. These elections should not be going on. As long as people participate, you give the process legitimacy. And another 5 years of this Zanu PF dictatorship is simply unthinkable. Unbelievable. But that's the reality. With that, thank you very much, Benjamin. And to the listeners, have a nice day and good night. We'll speak to you again tomorrow, same time, 7 o'clock. Thank you,
and
and
good night to our viewers and listeners.